everybody. Happy Monday. Dr. Peter Glidden here, your steadfast advocate for health. Monday, May 12th, 2014. Welcome aboard. For the next 2 hours, God willing and the creek don't rise, we're going to be talking about holistic medicine, everything your MD neglected to tell you. Quite frankly, everything that your MD did not know, by virtue of the simple notion, the simple data point that they've missed, is that the human body knows how to fix itself, the human body wants to fix itself, and the human body has a built-in God-given intelligence which is attempting all of the time to fix itself. Your MD does not believe this because they are trained in a reductionistic philosophy of medicine, and reductionism argues that if it can't be measured, it doesn't exist, since nobody has dissected the soul nor the vital force out of the human body. Since nobody has visualized it with a CT scan, an MRI, an X-ray, or an ultrasound, it does not exist. And if it does not exist, well, it doesn't exist. The MDs, in disregarding the relationship between the spiritual vital force and the health of the body, have thrown the baby out with the bathwater. And all of their therapeutics are completely misguided. It's like they're looking at the world through rose-colored glasses, but they've forgotten that they have the glasses on. So everything that they see is informed and colored a priori. It has a built-in bias that they've forgotten about. And this is why, while we have been under their care, our health is going to hell in a handbasket rapidly. In the United States, the leading cause of death is MD-directed medicine. The leading cause of bankruptcy is MD-directed medicine. And I was watching TV this weekend, and there was a trailer for, I think it's a television show. It's a series that's about to be aired shortly about the obesity epidemic in the United States and how bad it is and what needs to be done about it. And, of course, they interview people like Dr. Oz and Bill Clinton and all of these PhDs and MDs. They don't interview any naturopaths. They don't interview a chiropractor, an Ayurvedic practitioner, a homeopath, or anybody that has a clue about real medicine. They interview the status quo. And the basic, in a nutshell, take-home message that they're trying to fool you into believing is this notion that obesity is caused by sugar. But sugar is the culprit. Sugar is the fiend. Sugar is the Antichrist. And it's sugar that's the fault. It's, it's bad parenting. It's bad socialization. It's bad politics, right? We need to force McDonald's to put less sugar in their soda pops. And like in New York City, we have to pass a law that you can't drink a big gulp that's over 32 ounces or whatever. It's nonsense. Sugar is not the problem. Your DNA is made from sugar. Your genetic material is made from sugar. Sugar is the gasoline of the body. You couldn't blink an eyelash without sugar. You couldn't do it. You need sugar to survive. Sugar is the gasoline of your body. And when your body doesn't have enough sugar, it turns whatever it can into sugar. Sugar is not the problem. The problem is lack of nutrition, but again, because the MDs are like colorblind art critics, because they have a built-in bias that they're not even aware of, they have no inkling of foundation holistic medical nutrition, none whatsoever. They are blind to its presence. And so they have to find somebody to blame, and they're never going to blame themselves. They're never going to blame their own orientation. They're never going to blame their own socialization. They're never going to blame their own perspective on medicine because they've convinced themselves that they are the gods and goddesses of the medical arena. It can't possibly be the doctor's fault. It has to be society's fault. It has to be the food industry's fault. It has to be the parents' fault. And it has to be the lazy child's fault. It can't be the doctor's fault. But in fact, it is the doctor's fault, because here's what happens. Remember, your body needs sugar in order to survive. You couldn't blink an eyelash without sugar. Sugar is not the Antichrist. The amount of sugar that we consume on a day-to-day basis is in fact troubling, but it is not the primary cause of obesity. It is not. What does sugar do when you ingest it? Well, if you ingest the right amount of sugar, it doesn't do anything but good things, and it gives you energy to burn, and life is good. Your heart keeps beating, your brain keeps thinking, your hormones are balanced, life is good. But when you consume too much sugar, more sugar than you ought to, your blood becomes slightly acidic. When your blood becomes slightly acidic, the buffering systems of the body kick in. You have 6 buffering systems which keep a very tight rein over how acidic or how neutral or how alkaline your blood is at any moment in time. And a healthy body, the pH of the blood wants to be just a little bit over towards the alkaline side of the spectrum from dead neutral. It wants to be just a little bit alkaline beyond dead neutral. And so you have too much sugar. Too much sugar makes your blood acidic. Your blood is now acidic. The body will not tolerate that. The body kicks in its buffering system. And the first 4 of the body's 6 buffering systems are mineral buffering systems. So when the blood becomes too acidic, because you've eaten too much sugar, the mineral buffering systems kick in, and your body leaches minerals from wherever it can in the body. Usually it's the bones and the joints. So the body leaches minerals from the bones and joints and dumps the minerals into the bloodstream in order to neutralize the acidic nature of the blood and bring it back to an alkaline place, and life is good. However, what has just happened? You have robbed your mineral stores, which makes you now more minerally deficient than you were when you started. When you started, you were minerally deficient because the food does not contain the minerals that the body needs. The food cannot make minerals. The food can make a lot of things. Mother Nature can make a lot of things. Plants can make a lot of things. Animals can make a lot of things. But plants and animals cannot make minerals. Plants and animals cannot make calcium and magnesium and zinc and selenium. There are 60 minerals which are necessary, essential, in fact, for your health, and everybody is minerally deficient because these minerals, which are essential for your body's health, are not found in the soil. They're simply not all found in the soil. Some of them are, but not all of them. So unless you're supplementing with a really high-quality, broad-spectrum, absorbable mineral supplement, you are minerally deficient. Everybody in the world, except members of Longevity Nation, are minerally deficient, and now you've just eaten too much sugar. It makes your body even more minerally deficient, and what happens when your body is minerally deficient? Your body doesn't like that. Your body tries to adjust. Your body tries to remedy the situation. So what does your body, in its wisdom, make you do? It makes you eat in the desperate attempt to fill up the mineral tank that you have just depleted even more by acidifying the blood with too much sugar. So your body makes you crave food in the desperate attempt to fill the mineral tank up, but the food that you're eating doesn't have the minerals that you need. So you'll go to Olive Garden, you'll pig out. You'll go to McDonald's, you'll pig out. You go somewhere and pig out, eat 3,000 calories because you must, because you're driven there by nature. And 2 hours later, you're hungry again. Of course, for dessert, you're going to have something sugary and sweet, right? Because that's what we've been enculturated to do. So you bump up the sugar even more, and now the whole thing starts over and over and over. And it's an endless cycle. The only thing that makes people gain weight is too many calories. The only thing that makes people eat too many calories is a body which is nutritionally starved. Your body knows it's minerally deficient. Your body knows that if it continues to be minerally deficient, you're going to die. Your liver's going to go, your kidneys are going to go, your heart's going to go. Something's going to go because you need minerals to survive. Your car needs oil and transmission fluid and gas. Well, guess what? Your body needs 60 minerals, 12 amino acids, 16 vitamins, and 2 essential fatty acids. 90 essential nutrients. Maybe half of which, if you're lucky, maybe not even a third of which, you can get from food. So you're 70% down from following Dr. Oz's advice and the American Food Council and the American Dietetic Association. Oh, aren't they the greatest people in the world? They're fools. The last thing you should do is follow their advice, because look what's happened while you followed their advice. Obesity is skyrocketing. Oh, but it can't be their fault. It's got to be your fault. You're lazy SOB. You have the fat gene. That's what you have. You were born with a stomach that's too big, and quite frankly, you have no discipline. You eat too much sugar, yada, 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 yada. They're wrong. 2 plus 2 does not equal 5. Obesity is not directly caused by too much sugar. It's indirectly caused by too much sugar. It's caused by too many calories. The only thing that makes people eat too many calories is lack of nutrition. Now, you can argue that a very small percentage of the population has endured some extreme psychological stress in the past, which they have compensated for by overeating because it makes them feel good. It fills in an emotional hole. But that's a small percentage, not the majority. Not the majority. Remember, this is the body-mind. There's a connection between the two. But everybody overlooks the body because nobody knows holistic medical nutrition. Nobody. Well, a handful of us do. And that's why this radio show exists, because I am on the forefront, the tip of the spear of science-based, clinically verified, new-fashioned medical nutrition. If you listen to us, you succeed. If you listen to the MDs, you will fail when it comes to chronic disease. You can listen to the MD if you have a broken leg or a laceration or a spurting artery or a bullet in your arm, because that's their wheelhouse. But for chronic disease, they are the wrong dog for the hunt. There was nobody in Auschwitz or the death camps of World War II that was overweight, because nobody ate anything in the death camps, because they didn't feed them. The only thing that makes people gain weight is too many calories. And if you have too much sugar, it's going to drive mineral deficiencies, which make you crave more calories. The solution for the obesity epidemic? 90 essential nutrients every day appropriate for body weight. This is the solution to support and promote healthy body weight. 10 foods you must never even look at, let alone eat. Plus, fill your body's nutritional tank up with the 90 essential nutrients. If I were you, I'd get them through Youngevity's, because Youngevity's essential nutrients are the best products I've seen in 25 years of clinical work as a licensed naturopathic physician. My people are destroyed by lack of knowledge. Well, guess what? I'm putting an end to that right now. There's a new sheriff in town, Dr. Peter Glidden. Stick around. More to come. Monday, May 12th, 2014. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Dr. Peter Glidden, your steadfast advocate for health, welcoming you to another live edition of Fire Your MD Now. We're streaming live on YouTube, by the way. If you want to check it out, just type in Dr. Glidden. Something will pop up, and you get to look at my smiling face for the next 2 hours. And doesn't that just make you the luckiest person in the world? So, if you had a plumbing problem, if you bought a brand new house or, a second-hand house, and you moved into the house and there was a plumbing problem, you got a $10,000 job that needs to be done, who are you going to call? You going to call your next-door neighbor? No, your next-door neighbor doesn't have any experience with plumbing. You're not going to call them. How about your child's high school swim coach? Well, that's a good idea, because they work with water all day, don't they? I mean, doesn't the swim coach work with water? Well, they do, but are they a good candidate to help you fix your plumbing? No, because it's a different type of water, right? It's water, but it's different. Well, when it comes to a chronic health condition, there are lots of people who are trained in medicine. By way of metaphor, right? A lot of different people that work with water. Well, there's plumbers, there's sea captains, there's sailors, there's scuba divers, there's swim coaches. You need the plumber. You don't need the swim coach. You don't need the scuba diver. You need the plumber. Well, when you're dealing with a chronic health condition, you need the naturopath. You don't need the MD. You should avoid the MD. You should fire the MD. I mean, look at their track record for chronic disease. Obesity is skyrocketing. Alzheimer's risen from obscurity to become the 6th leading cause of death. Autism now, 1 out of 50 to 90 kids, depending on how you crunch the numbers. Attention deficit disorder rampant. High blood pressure going up and up and up. Kidney disease going up and up and up. Arthritis. This from your friendly neighborhood MD, your friendly neighborhood medical doctor. Incompetence. Horrible results, unbelievably bad results, and yet, because they own the market, because they have monopolized the medical market to the exclusion of everybody else for the last 80 years. We don't know any better. The American public does not know any better. The Canadian public does not know any better. The European Union members do not know any better, because you have been boonswoggled by almost 100 years of pharmaceutical profiteering propaganda, hammering the notion into your brain that the MD is a god. There are no other gods before the MD. You must listen to the MD, and everybody else is a back-of-the-bus quack with substandard, dangerous training. Baloney. As it turns out, just the opposite is true. Your medical doctor is the incompetent one. I mean, if they were competent, then chronic disease would be getting less and less and less. I mean, isn't that what health care is supposed to do? Aren't we supposed to be getting healthier with health care? We are. We're not. We're getting worse. Because MDs aren't trained in health care. They're trained in disease management. And so we're on a slippery slope, sliding. And the cliff is coming up quick. We're going to go right over it. Heard a story about a young man the other day. Tragic. Well, not so tragic as it is. Well, it's tragic. High school kid comes home from football practice, takes a shower, dies of a heart attack in the shower. What's the most common cause of a heart attack in athletes? Cardiomyopathy. That means your heart enlarges too much and then the valves don't work and you have a heart attack. What causes cardiomyopathy? Selenium deficiencies in the mineral selenium. Where does selenium come from? It comes from the ground. Where does it exist in the ground? God only knows. It's not evenly spread out in the ground. Most of the United States is deficient in selenium, so if, depending on where your food is grown, if there's no selenium touching the roots, there ain't no selenium in the carrot or the mushroom or the broccoli or the pine nut or the walnut. It's just not there. So your kid goes out of his way to get strong, right? He wants to be strong, wants to be a good kid, wants to be a contender, wants to be a sports person. Builds their body up, but he puts stress on their body every time they lift that weight. Every time they run 50 yards, they put stress on the heart. The heart can't keep up with the stress because there's no selenium in the diet, and the coach doesn't know it, and the team doctor doesn't know it, and the child is dead and gone and buried because the medical doctor was an idiot. The team's doctor was not staying current with the literature. Fire your medical doctor now, for goodness sake. Snap out of it. Swallow the red pill. And let's walk hand in hand in the undiscovered country of science-based, clinically verified, holistic medical nutrition. You're going to love how you feel. Greg in California is up next. Stick around. Welcome back, everybody. Dr. Peter Glidden here, your steadfast advocate for health. The phones are ringing off the hook. Let's get right to it, shall we? California's up first with Greg. Hey, Greg. Thanks for the phone call. You are live. What's going on, Greg?
Well, my mom was, about a year ago, she got on a bus, and the bus driver took off, and she was holding groceries. She fell, ended up breaking her L4 vertebrae.
Ouch.
And, so the doctor says it has healed, but she still has a lot of difficulty putting on socks. Her right hip hurts all the time. And she doesn't have a lot of movement and flexibility. So even though it's still healed, even though it's quote-unquote healed, she still has a lot of pain. And to top that off, she has osteoporosis.
Okay, so I'm glad you called. This is a really great thing to talk about, all right? You know, there's a certain amount of stress that's going to make anything break. Yeah, a certain amount of stress will make anything break, right? Kryptonite, it broke Superman. I mean, if you drop a rock big enough on your foot's going to break. I don't care how strong you are. But there's a difference between the stress of life and the structural integrity of the human body. And when the human body is nutrified, when people are taking all 90 essential nutrients every day, and their bones and their joints and their hearts and their kidneys and their liver and their spleen and their skin and their brain and everything has all of this raw materials that everything needs in order to optimize their structure and function, well, guess what happens? The structure and function becomes optimized. And when we stop eating food that's slowly whittling away at our health, the body optimizes its structure and function even more. So from our point of view, people don't become osteoporotic because they're getting older or because they have bones. People become osteoporotic because they have a bad doctor, not because they have a bad gene. Their bones have simply run out of the raw materials that they need in order to maintain their structural integrity. And it's ironic because the leading osteoporotic medicine, the bisphosphonates of Fosamax and Boniva and whatever the next generation bone builder is, understand this physiological process. Your body is constantly chewing up old bone and laying down new bone all of the time. It does it with two types of cells. The osteoblasts lay down new bone, and the osteoclasts chew up old bone. This process is happening all of the time. The bisphosphonates, Fosamax and Boniva, take advantage of this situation by putting the cells that chew up old bone to sleep, which is a really stupid thing to do, because when you put the cells that chew up old bone to sleep, what happens? Well, old bone accumulates in your bone. Now, your body was trying to get rid of the old bone, but the MDs don't believe that, because the MDs don't believe in the wisdom of the body. The MDs believe that the body is just a biochemical soup that's, it's a pot full of trouble that's only waiting to boil over. Something's waiting to go bad, and really it's just time until something breaks, and then you have to manage what breaks with a drug. They're insane in their understanding of the inner workings of the human body. So they don't think that the body is trying to get rid of the old bone for a good reason. So they stop that, and so old bone accumulates in the bone. And then what happens after you've been on these drugs for 4 or 5 years, you start to get something called brittle bone syndrome, which means that especially the long bones of your body, especially your legs and your forearms, are so chock-filled with old bone that the wind blows too strong and they snap. You step off of the curb to cross the street, and the pressure of putting your foot down on the ground, an extra 6 inches makes the leg bone snap. And this is the latest round of class action lawsuits. Look it up, bisphosphonate spontaneous leg fractures. But of course nobody talks about it, and you don't see Sally Field pitching Boniva anymore for this very reason. Now, I went off on this tangent, Greg, to just underline the fact that there are two processes happening in the body all of the time. Your body is chewing up old bone, and your body is attempting to lay down new bone. But your body needs raw materials to lay down new bone. Your body can't make calcium. Your body can't make phosphorus. Your body can't make silica. Your body can't make sulfur. These are the things that your bones need to be strong. So it would be prudent, don't you think, to give somebody who is struggling with osteoporosis raw materials that their body can use to make new bones, because their body's trying to strengthen the bones all of the flippin' time. And it would also be a good idea to counsel somebody with osteoporosis to stop eating food that's hurting the bones. So when we do these two things, stop eating the food that's hurting the bones and give the body raw materials it can use to lay down new bone that it's attempting to do, that's kind of like a never-fail fudge. Now, one of the reasons that people develop chronic pain after they've had trauma to a certain part of the body is again because of lack of nutrition. The body has a remarkable ability to fix itself. The body needs 90 essential nutrients, and you can get maybe 30, 40, 50 of them from food. And with 30 or 40 essential nutrients, the body can struggle through and rise to meet another day, but it's not going to be pretty. So she falls off, the bus driver hits the gas too quick, and she snaps a vertebrae in her back. And then the body has the ability to fix the break, but the rest of the soft tissue around the break, and quite frankly the structure of the break itself, isn't 100% better. What happens when there's a trauma to any part of the body, the muscles and the soft tissue around the area of trauma go into a spasm. The muscles become like an armor coat to protect the part of the body that was just traumatized. So all of the muscles and soft tissue that are surrounding that vertebrae went into spasm when she broke it, and they have remained locked down. Interesting, because one of the things that muscles need in order to relax back to where they need to be, in order to let the armor defenses go, is calcium and magnesium, which I know she doesn't have enough of because she's osteoporotic. So this has become like, a snowball rolling down a hill for her, and things are getting worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. She snaps a bone because she was osteoporotic, and then the soft tissue surrounding the bone isn't able to really heal 100% because it's still spastic. It's going to be causing pain all of the time. So there's three things that she needs to do. Number one, she needs to stop eating the 10 bad foods, okay? And you can get that list for free on my website. I did a free webinar last week about the 10 bad foods. I think there's a post for it on my website. It's free. It's free information. She needs to take into her body every day the raw materials that her body needs to optimize the structure and function of its musculoskeletal system. And my recommendation for that is it's called a healthy bone and joint pack.
Okay.
It's called a healthy bone and joint pack. And the company Youngevity has two of those. There's the original formula and the 2.0. I would recommend she takes the original formula. Okay?
Okay.
So it's one healthy bone and joint pack per 100 pounds of body weight per month. One healthy bone and joint pack per 100 pounds of body weight per month. And one extra bottle of calcium a month. And hands down, as God is my witness, the single best calcium on the planet right now is in the Healthy Bone and Joint Pack, but you can order it separately as well. It's called Beyond Osteo FX. That's O-S-T like Thomas, E-O. So one Healthy Bone and Joint Pack, original formula, per 100 pounds per month, and then one extra bottle of Beyond Osteo FX Plus, Beyond Osteo FX Plus a month. Now, once she's been taking that stuff for 4 weeks and has followed the diet for 4 weeks, it's not hard to do. It's a little bit of a change, but it's not that hard to do. And I would encourage you to experiment with it as well. I would then have her visit somebody, a body worker, who is knowledgeable in trigger point therapy. Because somebody who knows trigger point therapy can find there's a release point in each muscle belly that if you touch it and stimulate it long enough, it will force the muscle to relax. It will force the muscle to relax. It will force it to drop its guard. Now, after she's done this program for about 4 weeks, if she has trigger point therapy to her back, it's going to be night and day, man. It's going to be night and day. Does that make sense?
Yeah, makes a lot of sense.
How'd you find out about us, Greg?
My best friend is a Youngevity distributor, and he's gotten me on the Healthy Start Pack. And actually, this is the first 6th season that I haven't gotten sick.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, right. Yeah. Well,
so
proof of the pudding's in Eden. Yeah.
Yeah. So I thought, well, maybe there's something to help my mom too. So.
Okay, great. Well, so get with your friend, and so find out how to get this stuff, at the wholesale price. And also, your friend has probably told you, right? Youngevity. There's 2 ways to work with Youngevity. You can be a customer and just get the stuff at the wholesale price, or you can be a distributor. And since your friend is a distributor, then you need to place the order through him so he gets credit for it. And tell you what, Greg, man, I would also say, look, man, can you show me the business opportunity here? Because Youngevity has a really interesting business opportunity. And if you become a distributor, you can make a nice little additional income by helping people like, your mother, your grandmother, your friends, neighbors, whomever, to get back on the health train. And that's why we do it. Because, every time I say it, it seems a little, I mean, I don't know what the word is. Seems a little much, but it's true. Dr. Wallach, the founder of Youngevity, chose to set Youngevity up as a networked business on purpose. He could have just done it as a normal vitamin business and sold the stuff at GNC, but he didn't do that. He decided on purpose to set this up as a network business for one reason and one reason only. We are attempting to grow a grassroots coalition of the informed, people all around the world who know that conventional medicine is horrible for chronic disease, who are looking for a science-based, clinically verified option, who find Youngevity, and then help us spread the word. We're growing a non-militant grassroots coalition of the informed, and our goal is to get people so healthy they can completely stop taking their prescription medications. And this is how we're going to change the world. We're going to have the pharmaceutical industry die by attrition, because the more people that get on board with Youngevity, the more healthy they'll be and the less they'll need pharmaceutical medicine, and then that beats a poke in the eye with a sharp stick. Take a look at the business opportunity, man. I will. I think there might be something there for you. Appreciate your patience, Greg. I'm kind of a motor mouth today. Forgive me, but give that program a try. And call us back in a couple of weeks with a report. I would look forward to that very much. This is how we're doing it, ladies and gentlemen. One person, one town, one county, one state, one country at a time. I'm Dr. Peter Glidden. I am your steadfast advocate for health. There's tons of information that's for free on my website, drglidden.com. Check it out. Become an insider. That's a subscription service. You want to check out those details on my website. Knowledge is power. Get knowledgeable about simple steps you can do to recover your health. It's easier than you think. Stick around. Sam from somewhere is up next. Thanks a lot. That's us coming over the hill to the rescue. Somebody had to. Might as well be us. We're up for the task. Youngevity Nation Worldwide. That's who I'm referring to, a worldwide coalition of network marketeers who have taken it upon themselves, the business of mankind. Now, that's a group of people you want to associate with. If you've found us on your own, if you stumbled upon us somehow through fate, go to my website, drglidden.com. Click on the Join Team Glidden button and follow the bouncing mouse. It's not really a bouncing mouse. Just follow the prompts. And you can join Youngevity. You'll be in my team, my Youngevity team, and someone from my organization will get in touch with you and tell you what to do. It's as simple as that. If you were directed to this radio program from a pre-existing Youngevity distributor, then get with them in order to get details about the business opportunity, how to become a Youngevity distributor, what's that all about, how do you do that, what does it cost, how do you do it, and or product information, because our distributors are the bomb. And no matter who they are, they can help because we've trained them how to help, because healing is easy. Surgery is complicated. Healing is easy. And once you stick around with us for 6 months, your eyes will be so open, so wide, that you will be so unbelievably ticked off at conventional medicine. Beware. This is a side effect of joining Youngevity. You will become completely disenfranchised from conventional medicine. Not because, this is a cult or anything like that, but because we show you the truth. The truth of the matter is conventional medicine is an utter failure when it comes to chronic disease. An utter failure. Like the fellow said, once you've experienced the truth, you're in its velvet grasp forever. Sam from Michigan is up next. Hey, Sam, thanks for the phone call. You are live.
Dr. Glidden, you have saved our lives. Thank you so much. I have an 86-year young sweetie on the line with me. Her name is Ruth, and she has high blood pressure, depression. She's had 2 hip surgeries, and I think she's having little issues with osteo. If you could speak with her, I would love it.
Hello, Ruth. Come on in. Are you with me?
Yes. I didn't have hip replacement, so.
Okay. Have you had any type of joint surgery in your body?
No, just carpal tunnel. No.
Oh, yeah, carpal tunnel. Okay. How long have you had the high blood pressure?
7, 8, 10 years.
Yeah. What's it? I mean, how's your sleep at night, Ruth? Is it easy to fall asleep?
I don't sleep very well at night. I wake up. Sometimes I go right to sleep and wake up about 3 o'clock.
Yeah. And are you wide awake at 3 o'clock?
Yes. I get up and read or turn the television on.
Yeah, it's interesting. Do you get sleepy after you eat lunch or dinner?
Sometimes. Sometimes.
Yeah. And how about restless legs at night in bed? Do you get that?
No.
Okay, good. All right. And how much do you weigh, Ruth?
142.
Okay, 142. Well, here's what I would do by way of experiment. I would take some nutritional supplements for 4 weeks to see if you notice a positive change. And you're going to have to be careful here because most of the time, inside of 4 weeks, in somebody who's under 200 pounds, there's going to be a positive change in your blood pressure. So you need to get a blood pressure cuff that's reliable. You need to be taking your blood pressure twice a day. And when your blood pressure numbers start to come down, you want to go to a medical professional somewhere and say, hey, look, my numbers are getting too low. I need to reduce or stop my blood pressure medication. Because remember, our goal here is to get you so healthy that you don't need to take blood pressure medication or any other medication. This is the goal. So you have to keep a weather eye to your blood pressure once you're engaged with this program.
Well, when you're older, isn't the blood pressure a little bit higher?
No. The only reason that blood pressure increases is because your body has run out of the stuff it needs to maintain healthy blood pressure. I mean, it's not an aging thing. It's not a genetic thing. You know, if you tuned up your car and kept really good care of it, it could run for 300,000 miles. But if you never put a quart of oil in it, the thing's going to explode at 60,000 miles. The human body is the same way. Real quick, the recommendation, 1 anti-aging healthy start pack, 1 bottle of Beyond Osteo FX per 100 pounds of body weight per month. 1 anti-aging healthy start pack and 1 bottle of Beyond Osteo FX per month. Do the original formula anti-aging healthy start pack. Eliminate the 10 bad foods. That's a very, very good place to start.
Oh, Let me write down. I had the full pack here.
All right, now we're out of time. We're up against the hard break here. The person that brought you on will be able to help.